Hello. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's section of readings. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them, but for this installment, I'm going to use the Wild Reflections Tarot deck by Spell. If I can coordinate myself here, sorry about that. And I know there's a Spell website on the back here. I think it's over there. So if you want to check it out or find this deck, there's the information. You can freeze frame and check out what you want to check out if you're interested, naturally. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish. Illustrated by Jesse Reish. And then there's a website at the bottom, heyhouse.com, somewhere down there. I usually find it if I look hard enough, but it's there somewhere, heyhouse.com if you're interested. Okay. And last but not least, I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana, substituting 22 for 0, the pool. 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and a 4-sided dice to choose the element to decide which section of the minor arcana I'm going to use. These came from mathartfun.com, or the dice shop. The website is mathartfun.com if you're looking for that. That's where those ones came from. Okay, that being said, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. It's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your reading. Hello, Aquarius. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aquarius? I'm starting to think you have some similarities to the Libra read, which is interesting. This is definitely the Aquarius reading, but the similarities with the Earth coming in and influences coming in around it make me wonder if you're dealing with a Libra, or you have a Libra around, that reading might also help if this one resonates. Because there's a lot of Earth right in the center where things just seem to feel, and there's at the end, they are what they are, and there's only so much that can be done with it without great upset. Okay. Do you like this? Do you like the way the situation currently is? That's a good question. Does Aquarius like the current situation? I got the Hierophant half in, half out. And I got the 10 of Wands half in, half out, which means when it says half in, half out, it's kind of like this. Is it going to the good, going to the bad? It's probably like, it depends on what it is. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. So the Hierophant half in, half out tells me I know what to expect from it. I don't always like it. And with the 10 of Wands the same way, it's kind of like, if it's gonna work, it's gonna take a lot of work. Like, anything that actually works in this situation takes a lot of effort. That type of thing. And I feel like whatever the situation is, I don't feel like I'm always invested. I try to stay out of some of it, but I feel like I'm in and out. I feel like it's in and out. When I see this Knight of Wands, I feel like you're in and out with it. In and out, in and out. It doesn't seem like that's bad, but it might be more like, this is how I can stand it. This is how I can stand it. I can do this as long as I'm not always dealing with it. And for whatever reason you're like, I have to deal with that. I have to deal with it. I have to deal with it. It feels that way. Could be because it's a job and you're like, well, I need a paycheck, so here I am. Could be because it's family. It's kind of like, well, it's what it is. I keep getting like the Earth energy. Like, what am I supposed to talk about with the Earth energy here? Because there's a lot of it. The Earth energy isn't correct. I got the Devil on the dice with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, which is telling me the Devil card is an earth energy. It can talk about Capricorn sometimes. You don't have to be dealing with a Capricorn person, but something like that. Established boundaries and not a lot of patience for people who break those boundaries. There's a falsehood to this. This is interesting. These are good cards, typically. There's a falsehood to this. Something seems stable. Somebody's pretending something's stable that really isn't. And they're the ones that are getting what they want out of it. And they seem to be watching the whole situation play out. And they feel like they have it on lock. Like this has to stay this way. And I have control over this. This reminds me of like a really tyrannical dictator or something like that. I don't know what to say about it. It's weird because those are pleasant cards, you know, but the flavor that's coming in with them is kind of like, well, we're talking about the energy, not the intention behind the energy when it comes to those cards. The situation, does it provide you with something good other than the obvious? Whatever the obvious would be, in your opinion? The strength card like this, which means depending on the day, and then the 3 of Wands the same way, kind of like sometimes something comes away that works and something it does and it doesn't. The situation overall works. I have a feeling for a lot of you this is going to be work. I could be wrong, but like, you know, general read, take it wherever it resonates for you. It just reminds me of like the corporate life, kind of like, am I well favored today? You know what I mean? Are people going to be nice to me because they feel like I'm doing something that's going to benefit them? Or have they decided that I really can't help them anyway, so they're just not going to do a thing for me no matter what I do? I'm getting more of an energy coming in like, this is a situation that it's like, it is what it is, and I try to tolerate it because I need to. And you know what's going on, and you've kind of put yourself in a position where you can tolerate it and you get what you need out of this situation. I hate that I'm going to say this again, but if it's business or if it's family, it's just one of those things where I feel like I got to make a living, or I got to do this, or I got to do that. So I just find a way to make it work for me the best I can, and I just see it for what it is. And certain people are the way they are, and there's only so much I can do with that. Something changing? Is something changing? Question mark. Because possibilities are here. Possibilities are here. 9 of Swords reversed is the letting go of stress. The Tower card came up on the dice. You have this card here where you're standing. Possibilities. So stress is going away. There's a way for you to change your connection to this, for sure. And it's questioning, like, are you going to do it? Because it's kind of like, I found a way to make this more what I want it to be, to where, even if it's family, it's kind of like, I know some people do this where they find a way to move far enough away and keep their life busy enough to where they don't have to deal with family any more than extremely necessary. Extremely necessary. I've seen people do that for good reason. I've seen people with jobs, especially nowadays where a lot of people work from home, or sometimes people transition into different parts of the company or a whole new job altogether. Something is showing you a possibility here. And I feel like what I'm doing is I'm looking at it kind of like, should I do this, what I want to do, or should I accept it? Should I accept it for what I don't like? What makes better sense to me? It's like I'm trying to really think out, like, if I make this change, Like, if I make this change, I keep looking at this, like, the Seven of Cups is with the Lovers, kind of like, for example, if it's a work thing, if I want to go to a different company, I could end up finding the same type of issues there. And then where am I going to be? I went through all the change, did all the different things, and now square one, square one yet again. Um, is it worth the effort? Is it worth the effort to find out? So, whatever you are, whatever you're dealing with, I'm getting it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not really changing. You have so much ability to do whatever you can do, but the initial situation, the base of the situation is very anchored and locked in. There's a possibility here you could go and you might find a lot more happiness there. The change alone could make you happy. I keep getting that there's possibilities here. The Oracle card says maybe you want to try that. Maybe you want to give that a serious thought. See what it takes to make it happen. Any social connections you want to keep from this situation, you will keep. But by changing your circumstances, it also makes it like, for example, if it was a family thing, and you're like, maybe 7 out of 10, you're just like, I just wouldn't say hello to them if I tripped over them. Not, I mean, if it's true, it's true. It's not meant to be mean. It's just, if it's a fact, it's a fact. But there's 3 you're like, even if I wasn't related to them, I would still want to be around those people because I like them. So you just keep your connection strong with those 3. It's not, you could do it. This situation is affording you that, if you want to do it that way. Is it socially acceptable? I don't know where that came from, but is it socially acceptable? Why are we doing that? No. Not for the most part. So if it's a work thing, like, coworkers are not going to be happy for you on this one. If it's a family thing, people are not going to be impressed with this change. I don't think it's a bad thing to do, but like, when I said that socially acceptable, like, I don't think you're going to get the backup you want. You're not going to get the support you want for this. If this reading is going the way it feels, I'm not thinking you're going to be shocked with that anyway. But maybe they're just trying to highlight it. Just, yeah, if you choose that direction, nobody's going to really be happy for you. Even the people who are nice to you aren't going to say anything positive, is what I'm getting. They might even have the attitude like, oh, thanks, Aquarius, just leave me with this. Maybe you've had enough. Maybe it's their turn to decide to do things. Maybe it's just their turn. I don't know. Just because, even if it's a family thing, just because you're born into a family doesn't mean you're, forced into that emotional slavery. If some people are just toxic and you're just like, only reason I deal with them is because I feel like I'm obligated to, you have the right to change your mind on that. Make different decisions. I'm not saying it's a popular opinion. I'm just saying it's an opinion. If you do that, other people will probably want to do the same thing as well. That might shift the whole situation. That might actually put some very, very strong cracks in the foundation of whatever's going on here. It very much may. That may not be a bad thing. It's up to how you feel about it. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. It's a general read. All that good stuff. It could put some very formidable cracks in the foundation, and some of you might think, well, maybe that's a good thing. Because I feel like during the change, I don't see anybody really backing you up on this or going, good idea. I don't see that. But afterwards, and especially if you make good on that, whatever that means to you, other people might want to follow. So keep that in mind too. Not that they have to live with you or whatever that means, but you might be inspiring to other people. Like, you didn't put up with it, so they might be like, well, if Aquarius didn't put up with it, why am I putting up with it? Changes keep happening, but there's one of those things where slowing down and making the choice versus just kind of going with the flow will serve you better. You're coming up to this energy soon where you kind of have to do or don't. So if you're going to make the change versus you're not, it feels like a window of opportunity. It's either do or don't. If you default, I don't think you're going to be happy with that, because I feel like the situation is quite busy and you're just going to keep going with what you're going to keep going with. If you stop and you're like, you know what, let me take a day off and just go to the park and just feed the ducks or whatever you want to do, or whatever makes you happy. So you can have some time to just sort out your thoughts and like, what do I want to do? Because once you make up your mind what you want to do, your natural energy will go right where you need it to go. Once you like, if you're like, you know what, I really want to do this, you'll start moving towards it and you'll make it happen. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, if you choose to stay, cool, it'll work out to your benefit. But it's like pulling back and taking that moment, even if it's like taking a day off of work. I know people who do this, that they don't tell their families when they take off a day of work every now and then, and they just go somewhere and they just take that day for themselves and they just chill and they sort out their thoughts. And like one person I know has a spa day and they just go through and the massages and all the other stuff, and people that they live with have no idea, because they need that. And if those people know that they're doing that, those people are going to expect that they can like ask for this, or can you do this for me? I mean, you have the day off anyway. Can't you do this for me? You have the day off anyway. Can't you do that for me? Whatever it takes for you to have your peace of mind so you can actively choose what you want. It's going to be a process also. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 5 minutes, but I do get that like it'll move you forward very quickly. I feel like if you start moving in that direction, you're also going to find other things you want from this situation. So for example, if you're moving away from family, where do I want to move? And do I plan to move a lot, or do I want to move in a certain spot and stick? If I'm going to go to a different company, what company can I go to that I think I'm most likely going to be happy? Because I'm not looking to just keep jump. I don't want to be a job hopper. I want to hop to what I want and stay there, hopefully, if it looks correct. So what looks most likely to be what I want it to be? This came out as like advice. So if you're not going to do it that way where you're thinking about it, like, where can I go next and hopefully make it permanent? They're kind of saying, give it that thought. So if, say, wherever you live, you maybe live an hour and a half, 2 hours away from a major city, and you're thinking, yeah, I'll move there. Where can you go that you would be like, okay, this is X amount of miles from this park or this situation. I would like to live here. This is the type of neighborhood I'd like to be in. Give it deep thought. Again, step back, give yourself a moment to breathe and let yourself give that deep thought so you can actively choose what you really want, because this is the moment to make it happen. Opportunity's right there for you. And that way you can look back and be like, I got this. I got success because I took the moment to breathe and actively choose. Even though you're highly intelligent, I feel like Aquarius can get very used to just keep moving, make the decision, keep moving. Could you always make good decisions? Always? Mostly. I mean, you're not perfect, I know that. But mostly make really good decisions. But if you slow down and take a minute to breathe and let your energy settle, you make different decisions. Better than good. It's kind of like good or better. Like, you want that 75 on the test, or you want that 105 because you did it perfectly plus the extra credit. Are we good? All right, I'm gonna shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.